So, when you hear the term global partnership, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably trade deals, maybe political alliances, right? Well, today we're going to look at a completely different model, one that's taking shape in Colombia. And it's not built just on policy, but on this really powerful mix of technology, education, and genuine human connection. Let's dive in and see how they're making it happen.
This quote from Chancellor and Minister William Jackson, it really just nails it, doesn't it? This isn't just some nice phrase to put on a poster. It's the actual foundation for a new kind of global relationship, one that's truly built on mutual respect and a real desire to connect on a human level.
Okay, so how does this synergy actually work on the ground? Well, it all comes down to three interconnected pillars that, when you bring them together, create something, pretty special. Let's break down what they are. And here they are. These are the building blocks for this whole thing: a super forward thinking approach to tech, a real commitment to education, and a foundation of what the source material calls spiritual connection. We're going to start with technology because it's a huge piece of the puzzle. First up, the technology bridge. And we're not just talking about shiny new gadgets and lines of code here. In this model, technology is seen as a bridge, a tool for connecting different cultures, for sharing knowledge, and for creating a vision for the future that everyone can be a part of. And here's a perfect example of this in action. At a recent AI and tech conference, it wasn't just a room full of suits and experts. You had students, teachers, and entrepreneurs all in the same space, all working together on what the future of tech looks like for Colombia and Latin America. I mean, that's what real collaboration is all about. And listen, they are not messing around with the small stuff. They're diving right into the deep end with cutting-edge tech, artificial intelligence, the creation of a South American metaverse, even using things like podcasts and immersive content. It's a whole digital ecosystem designed to bring people together. All right, on to the second pillar, education. Because it makes sense, right? What good is having this amazing vision for the future if you aren't empowering the next generation to actually build it? This part is all about creating the leaders of tomorrow. And they've got a clear plan for how to do it. The simple three-step process. You start by sharing knowledge and experiences. That, in turn, fosters academic excellence. But the end game, the real goal, is to create this whole new generation of digital leaders and innovators who are going to shape the future of the entire region. So that brings us to our third and final pillar. And honestly, this might be the most fascinating one. With all this focus on tech and education, what's the glue that holds it all together? What's the thing that turns a simple agreement into a partnership that actually lasts? The source calls this foundation Christian service and fellowship. But what that really means in this context is a focus on universal human values. Things we can all get behind, right? Building real, genuine relationships, showing mutual respect, and having a shared commitment to serving others. It's the human element, and that's what makes this partnership so incredibly strong. This slide just lays it out so clearly. The traditional way of doing things is often very transactional. It's based on policies or trade deals. But this approach, it puts friendships and fellowships first. It's about building personal connections that, at the end of the day, can be way more powerful and long-lasting than any formal agreement. So we've looked at all three pillars by themselves. Now let's put it all together and see how they create something really special. This isn't just a tech program or an education initiative or a faith-based mission. No, it's the synergy of all three that makes it so incredibly powerful. And you can see exactly how it all fits. Technology is there to bridge the gaps. Education empowers the people. And that foundation of fellowship, well, that's what builds the genuine, values-based relationships. And the result of all that working together? A global community that's truly dedicated to empowerment and mutual understanding. This quote just perfectly sums up the whole mission. It's not about a simple exchange of ideas. It's about the much bigger, more ambitious goal of building a global community that's united by a shared purpose. So, what can we all take away from this? This model, coming out of Colombia, really challenges us to rethink what it means to build global connections. It leaves us with a pretty powerful question to chew on. What if the strongest bonds we can build aren't based on policy at all, but on a shared, deeply human purpose?